everybody, I'm super excited to be here. I'm going to be looking back and forth between a couple of screens so I can see you. Hopefully some of you guys will turn on your video as well. I don't have a slide presentation. That's I just generally would like to have a conversation, kind of tell you about what our organization does and get to know what you're doing at your organization. I'll start with my introduction. So my name is Carrie Ann Carty. I am the president and CEO of the Alaska Safety Alliance and the newly formed Alaska Workforce Alliance. We're a 501c3 formed here in Alaska in 1999. And we were formed as the Alaska Process Industry Careers Consortium, or APEC. And originally we were put together by industry, by employers in Alaska to address workforce shortages, which is where our concentration remains. So our mission has really remained unchanged over the years, and that's to ensure the availability of a highly trained workforce sufficient to staff Alaska's industries safely and competitively now and in the future. We did go through some organizational changes back in 2019, and we changed our name to the Alaska Safety Alliance. That name change came about really because of our board of directors are pretty good about keeping up with their strategic planning and setting goals. And when we did that strategic planning process in 2018, there were some goals identified that we wanted to expand our outreach to increase the membership and increase our relevance to those members that we're serving, to expand our industry partnerships and to leverage our organizational resources and experience to assist more than the original industry sectors that were engaged with us since the beginning. We wanted to develop a more sustainable revenue and to diversify that revenue, as I'm sure some of you who are with other nonprofits understand the importance of sustainability and different ways that you can generate revenue for your organization to make sure that you're still have a strong basis and able to continue operating into the future. Excuse me. We did another strategic planning process in 2022 and identified additional goals. Really, the four main things were to increase career awareness. I think that's a really big priority for our organization and a place that we've been engaged in since the beginning. We want to be able to provide tools and take action to improve career awareness across the state and increase career exploration opportunities for all Alaskans. The second goal was to increase workforce preparation and to develop and deliver training programs that prepare workers for available jobs or careers that would really address workforce strategies that have been identified by Alaska employers, which are the bulk of our membership. We wanted to become a more sustainable organization, to prioritize our long-term sustainability, and to set some financial goals. And then to expand the value of the organization to educate employers about the value of collaboration, which is really a value that we were founded on, and expand beyond our core industry sectors, which originally were the process industries, which would include oil and gas, mining, timber, seafood processing, water, wastewater, energy. So we were kind of limited. It was a diverse group of industry sectors, but it wasn't all industry sectors, or certainly not all of the priority industry sectors in the state of Alaska. We wanted to encourage participation across all industry sectors, encourage engagement and further investment in workforce and workforce initiatives across the state. And in 2023, the board again identified ways and looked for ways to address significant workforce shortages. As you know, that's become more and more talked about topic as we see, we come out of the post-COVID times where fewer people came back into the workforce. We saw some early retirements. I think across the board, from whether you're talking aviation or oil and gas or tourism, we have all identified huge skills gaps and huge workforce shortages across the state. So one of the things that came out of that discussion was the need to create a statewide cross-industry workforce development plan. And the purpose of that project is really to identify skills gaps across industry sectors and to be able to facilitate partnerships that would then result in an increase of trained, qualified Alaskan workers, and some of those with transferable skills that would meet the needs across the specific sectors. So that's when we implemented our tagline, which is safe, trained, and ready. Safe, trained, ready. It recognizes our role both in safety training and in skills training and the importance of workforce development. That all led to a big project supported by the Denali Commission and in partnership with the Alaska Department of Labor and Workforce Development and the AWEB, the Alaska Workforce Investment Board, to create that plan. And the project gained momentum last year, if you were there, at the Alaska Workforce Convening that was hosted by the Alaska Workforce Investment Board in 2023. Excuse me. So it's been nearly a year of gathering data, seeking shareholder input from across the state. And we are currently at this moment, the plan has been developed. We've named it Alaska's Workforce Future, and it's currently being laid out, design work done so that we can publish it this month and have it ready as we go into our next steps. So that's a comprehensive statewide cross-industry workforce development plan called Alaska's Workforce Future. And that document in draft, it's not the final copy, but the draft is available on our ASA website. There's some minor edits that have been made, but we're not quite ready to put the published plan up. But in the meantime, the draft is available there. And I see someone put a link in the chat, so I appreciate that. And in addition to the plan, we really wanted people to see the work that went into that document. There's a crosswalk of Alaska's industry-specific workforce plans. It's Appendix 6 of that document. I'll share some of these more in-depth links to some of these things that I'm talking about, just so that you have them and you can go directly to them if it's a particular interest. But there are multiple workforce development plans across the state in mining and healthcare. There's the CTE plan, and all of we've created a crosswalk of these plans, which I think is really helpful and gives a good in-depth review of what's been done in the past. We really didn't want to replicate or duplicate what has already been done. There was a myriad of other publications that were reviewed during the plan development phase, which we're continuing to build upon kind of a one-stop resource for workforce development practitioners around the state, where you can find those publications, whether it's the workforce development plans, action agendas from different industries. I think there's a couple of economic development plans. There's just a ton of publications that are right there available at your fingertips, and they're sorted by date. And we're still developing these types of things, these recommendations that come out of the plans that are kind of shared resources that we can use as workforce professionals around the state. There's also a listing of all organizations. We hope that we can make it a listing of all organizations. We know it's not complete, and state agencies that are engaged in workforce development in Alaska. And I'm going to make that link available to you, and if you see in there that there might be an organization or state agency that is missing, that has some type of initiative or is engaged in workforce development, you'll be able to add that right into that spreadsheet online. So all of this said, the next steps that we're looking at is we do host the Alaska Business Education Compact. It's a monthly forum for educators and industry and workforce development professionals to talk about all things workforce development across the state. We try to have relevant presenters on different topics each month. We do take a break in July and December, but this upcoming meeting that's happening in October is our once a year in-person gathering of the Alaska Business Education Compact. And the BEC, as we call it, will host the Alaska Workforce Convening 2.0, a continuation of the conversation that happened at the Alaska Workforce Convening in 2023, in October of 2023. And that 2.0 will be in collaboration again with the Alaska Department of Labor and Workforce Development, as well as the Alaska Workforce Investment Board, and facilitated by Kinetic West, which was the same contractor that did it last year. There's some details, additional details about that meeting and how to RSVP on our website, and I'm sure someone will share that link. If not, I'll do it at the end. So this project really identified opportunities for better communication statewide, better communication to the industry and to the public, and better alignment of our organization with the core mission of workforce development. So earlier this year, you heard me state that we established the Alaska Workforce Alliance. This is a subsidiary of the Alaska Safety Alliance. This is just a new recognition, kind of a back to our roots. The board was discussing like the name Alaska Safety Alliance and how do people understand that we're really engaged in workforce development, not just safety and safety training. We did deliberate a little bit about doing a full name change again, but instead we decided that both sides of the house, as we say, have significant importance, have different meanings to industry. So we did maintain the Alaska Safety Alliance and then developed the Alaska Workforce Alliance. And I think it's going to be a great combination of resources, and there's a cross between those two things, between the safety and the workforce development that we see every day. So with this new subsidiary, we made also some organizational and leadership changes. Many of you may have known me as the executive director of the Alaska Safety Alliance. I'm now the president and CEO of both organizations. And then Mari Sell, who you'll hear from later, she's going to give a presentation about Maritime Works and the Alaska Maritime Education Consortium, or AMEC. She's now our executive director for the Alaska Workforce Alliance, and has taken over that. We are hiring, I'm going to plug that out there. We are hiring somebody to work with Mari as a workforce programs coordinator, and hopefully we can get that job announcement out to Dominica, and she can share it with the group. We sure would like to find someone who is experienced in Alaska and has some workforce development background. That's Naomi Ducharme, who was previously our director of operations for the Alaska Safety Alliance, is now the executive director of the Alaska Safety Alliance and is managing that side. Again, I am the president and CEO of both. I'll post all of our contact information in the chat afterward. So I started this talk today saying that we formed this organization back in 1999. So if you do the math, ASA is celebrating our 25th anniversary this year with a dinner and fundraiser auction for the Alaska Safety Alliance Training Scholarship Fund. And we're hosting that celebration at O'Malley's on the Green on October 25th, which happens to be the day that we were incorporated, October 25th, 1999. The event details, also, I'll give you a link to the event website. We are still accepting sponsorships and auction donations. We've had really great support. This is the first time we've ever done this. Our scholarship program is fairly new. We created it a couple years ago in collaboration with Alaska 529, which many of you I'm sure are familiar with. And Alaska 529 matched our original principal contribution to that fund. And continues to be a great partner and supportive of our marketing efforts to get that information out to students across the state. The scholarship is available to all Alaskans seeking post-secondary education, whether that is an apprenticeship, a professional license, or a degree program, a traditional scholarship for a degree program. So it's a pretty interesting it's a little bit different than some of our traditional scholarships and a real opportunity. And we have awarded, I think, a diverse group of individuals. You do have to be an Alaskan seeking training in Alaska, or if the training's not available in the state of Alaska, that would be eligible as well if you're doing it out of state. Information about the scholarship awardees are also on our event website because we're celebrating them. We had 15 scholarship awardees in 2024 across the state. I think they represented probably 6 of our regions around the state. And then just kind of to round out some of the other things that our organization does, we provide a platform called ASA Online. It's a learning and compliance platform for training, a lot like an LMS, but a little more robust. We provide that to our members, and non-members have access to it as well, so that they can take their safety training and other related courses online. We also, through ASA Online, host company-specific training courses. So if you were to go to that platform, you'd see that ConocoPhillips and Hilcorp, as well as Santos, all have their company-specific Alaska training courses available through that system. And those are generally offered at no cost to their contractors. They're just made available on our platform because all of those operator companies are members of what we call the NSTC, or the North Slope Training Cooperative, which is a collaborative agreement between those North Slope operators to develop and maintain training courses and curriculum for basic safety awareness on the North Slope of Alaska. So we also do, we offer employer or member subportals in that platform. We do some coordination of SMEs, or subject matter experts, to develop safety and other training programs. We deliver in-person first aid, CPR, AED training, and skills testing. We deliver OSHA training, ACAC, other training, and provide specific customized presentations on safety and other topics. We do develop career awareness materials. We do some career outreach, and we provide coordination of workforce development initiatives, such as Maritime Works, which you're going to hear from Mari about in greater detail later on. We do have classroom space available. We offer it at a reduced rate to our members, and oftentimes we'll offer it free to other nonprofits. We coordinate the Alaska Business Education Compact monthly forum. We have a job board, and then we also host the Alaska Safety Expo in partnership with ABC of Alaska, which offers free safety training provided by volunteer instructors just ahead of the construction season in the spring. And that was a lot of information in a pretty short time. I think I used about 22 minutes of our time, but I really wanted to leave some space here at the end to take questions. I see a lot of unfamiliar names, so I'm hoping that there are some questions about what our organization does, and I'd be happy to take those now.
Hi, this is Bert from ASD. I was just wondering, with the safety classes that you're offering, like for these adult programs and stuff like that, do you have things that are working with like kids that are getting into the industry, like specifically high school kids, or even reach out programs for middle school getting in there and just kind of starting to get that safety mindset going?
Yeah, for sure. Great question, Bert. We do offer some of our safety trainings to middle and high school students, mostly high school students. We have a contract with AMYA to deliver it to all of their cadets. So that's pretty exciting. We have one of our safety instructors here. That's one of her favorite things to do, is to go to the high schools and do some safety stuff. And yeah, so if there's some need there, please let us know. We'd be happy to talk about what works for your particular programs.
Okay, excellent. Because yeah, we run all the CT classes. We get all the welding classes, construction classes, all that kind of stuff. So just getting them some familiarity with it and some PPE stuff. I mean, obviously my teachers can talk to them, but sometimes it's nice when they bring in a little bit more of a professional that can kind of give them a better rundown on that.
Yeah, we did last year, went out to the Matsu Career and Technical High School with some of our industry representatives in safety and did some safety demonstrations for their CTE classes. We'd be happy to do that with any of the schools or school districts. or provide any type of like initial safety training to your CTE classes. We also help with DEED develop their instructor safety manual. Hopefully that's available like on the DEED website or something, but it gives some kind of basic, depending on what type of course it is, some basic safety information for the classroom.
Yeah, I think we have that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that'd be I just, part of my gig is also doing all the, we do all the curriculum development stuff I had here too for all these classes. So in fact, I think I just sent you out an email about one of our industry councils. So.
Yeah, that would be great. We have a couple of safety certified folks through NSC and they have their CHST. They can come and do some presentations or recruit industry volunteers to do that for you too.
Awesome, thank you.
And I see a question in the chat that says, do you travel to rural areas to provide safety training to search and rescue groups? I don't know that we've done anything specific for search and rescue groups, but we could. We have done some training for a group of people from it's a company called Rare TV, and their production company. They're shooting a program called Ice Airports Alaska. And when they bring their crews up to Alaska, it's the first time they've ever been in such extreme conditions. I mean, they are shooting at rural, remote areas and airstrips around the state. So we do a full safety training, survival training for their crew. It's something that we've not been asked to do anything for search and rescue, but if you let us know what you need, we'd be happy to see if we can put something together.
Thank you so much, Carrie Ann.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I will make sure to update the agenda with your new title, as
Oh, no
well as
worries.
Mari's title. So my apologies for that. With the Alaska Business Education Compact annual meeting and the Workforce Convening 2.0, is that an event open to anyone? Is there a fee?
Yeah, so the BEC Workforce Convening 2.0, there is no fee. It is a half-day gathering at O'Malley's on the Green. I'll put a link in the chat, and it's just a RSVP. You need to sign up an RSVP. Seating is limited though, so if you do RSVP, please make sure that you show, because somebody else will not be able to come if you RSVP.
Thank you. Is there anything that we can contribute to that workforce convening or the workforce plan?
I would say if you're planning on attending the convening, reading the plan ahead of time would be helpful. We hope to distribute the final plan in the next week or two, just to get it out about a week ahead of that convening. That will depend a little bit on our graphic and design team, but we will have it. If you could at least review the draft, I think that would be helpful, just going into and knowing what the strategies are that are recommended, because this is going to be a real work session. We're going to talk about what the next steps are, and hopefully walk away with a concrete action agenda about how ASA and AWA can help coordinate, and what other organizations are going to do and contribute, and how we work together in partnership around the state, and really have some very specific actions to take as we come out of that meeting.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mari posted or shared in the chat box that you are hiring, as you mentioned.
Yes. Thank you, Mari.
As you were talking about your programs initiatives, I was sharing direct links, but please, if you have anything else to add or any other links to share, it can be right now, or I can distribute after your session.
Yep, I will put a couple of them in there, and I'll send you all of the links that I have.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate the time this morning.
Thank you so much, Carrie Ann, and we appreciate you as well. We'll see you around. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, take care.